What's up, YouTube gamers? Young Soul dropping another video. And you see the title, Quantum Break versus The Last of Us. Is Quantum Break Last of Us killer? Now, I bring this up because looks like over the internet, over the last day or two, Xbox fanboys have been starting to hype up Quantum Break as if it's going to be, the biggest thing since sliced bread. We know how they do this. Every time something is about to drop, whether it's a new API or a new, monthly update or games with gold or whatever they have coming up, the next thing that's going to be the big time Xbox thing, they always hype it up to the infinite degree. And so I guess over the internet, the last day or two, Xbox fanboys had started saying how, Quantum Break looks to be on the level of The Last of Us, or like Xbox One's Last of Us, or whatever. And a lot of PlayStation guys, started, going back at that, saying, how could you compare that? I mean, Quantum Break might be decent and all that, but putting it on the level of, The Last of Us, where The Last of Us, let's just be honest, The Last of Us is one of the highest rated, AAA action adventures over this or the last generation, meaning from like 2005, 2006, when the 7th generation started through now, which is like a decade, right? 2005, 2006 to 2016 is a decade. So over the last decade, The Last of Us is probably the best rated AAA action adventure game and the most awarded AAA action adventure game. I know The Witcher is now the most awarded game, I think, but that's an RPG. But the most awarded action adventure game is still The Last of Us. And so putting a comparison out of a new game to a classic, which The Last of Us is like saying, the new NBA rookie coming into the league next year, we're going to compare to Jordan. Like, you don't do that right away. Could it possibly be as good? I tend to doubt it, but I guess anything's possible, sure. So I guess, yeah, sure, it might be as good. But that's like saying the next NBA rookie is going to be as good as Jordan. You don't compare the two. Not at least until you've seen how well it's done, see how everything about it, you know what I mean? Until the game comes out and see how it, how everybody reacts to it and everything. So a couple of PlayStation guys pointed that out, and of course the Xbox fanboys immediately turned around and was like, oh, you're just jealous, or you're upset, or you're insecure. They immediately, that's their automatic response, is to attack you as somehow being insecure for questioning the comparison between Quantum Break and The Last of Us, which is ridiculous, but that's their immediate response anyway. So I just wanted to go through a couple of different things that I know, that I've noticed for sure. And second half of it's going to be in my opinion, but the first half is going to point out some differences between the two games as a matter of fact, not as a matter of opinion, but as a matter of fact. So first of all, The Last of Us had a robust multiplayer. Now, you can say the multiplayer was good as far as the competitive multiplayer. It was good or it was bad. I mean, that's up to your opinion, and that's fine. Personal opinion's personal opinion. I got no problem with that. But Quantum Break will have no multiplayer, no co-op, no competitive multiplayer. As a side note really quick, I remember how all the Xbox fanboys, used to say that if you had a PlayStation game with no co-op or no competitive multiplayer, it was a rental only. There's no need to buy a PlayStation game that didn't have co-op or competitive multiplayer. But apparently, Quantum Break is the exception to that rule. It doesn't have a co-op or a competitive multiplayer, but it's a $60 buy no matter what. But getting back to the point, that is not a debate. That's not an opinion. The Last of Us had a robust multiplayer, or let me take robust out, because that is an opinion. But it did have a multiplayer, whether you liked it or not. That's up to individual choice, but it did have it. Quantum Break, whether you like multiplayer or not, will not have it. Okay. The other thing is, Quantum Break did not need what is it, like 4 22-minute cutscene TV type shows to explain the plot. The Last of Us, people got the plot. Grandmothers got the plot. Well, I don't know about grandmothers, but there were like mothers in their 40s, 50s, and whatnot who got the point, you know what I mean, of The Last of Us without needing 4 22-minute cutscenes to explain everything to you. Now that again, the Last of Us did not need that to move the plot, so to get character development. It doesn't need a TV show inside of the game to expand on the character development or plot point or plot, analysis. It told it to you through the game and through some regular length cutscenes. You know what I mean? So that's two things, just to point out a couple things where there are factual differences between these two games. Now, on to my opinion. The Last of Us. Now, this is my opinion. If you're going to sit here and try to compare, if you're going to compare it, it's going to be pretty unfavorable to Quantum Break. Okay. Now, I don't think the comparison's reasonable to begin with. Like I said, you comparing a rookie to Michael Jordan, you're not going to do that. You know what I mean? But if you're going to compare, unfortunately, Quantum Break's going to look pretty ridiculous. And in my opinion, the gameplay mechanics were sick as far as with, between everything from, the shooting mechanics to the stealth mechanics of not wanting to, deal with some of the zombies or whatever, like the bloaters or what have you. You know what I mean? It was on, on par. On that respect, the storytelling, oh gosh, I don't even want to go into it on that. But, all around, the game, touched on everything. It didn't give you too much ammo, so it didn't feel like a quote-unquote regular just third-person cover-based shooter. It didn't really give you enough ammo to do that. You had to, kind of scrounge around like, what I would imagine a real zombie apocalypse would kind of be like. So I think it hit every note it had to. Quantum Break is an open book. Maybe it does hit every note, but it's going to be hard to hit every note to put it in the same category, and that's what most of these PlayStation guys are saying. So is Quantum Break a good game, possibly great game? Sure, but let's not sit there and put it up against the best action adventure of the past decade. Let's just go ahead and hold off on that till we find out. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are we too early, or is it okay to compare Quantum Break to the best, action adventure game of the past decade, or you think it's a little bit early and maybe we should just wait to find out how Quantum Break really is? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll holla back. Peace.